my nose first.
You don't want that on the microphone?
Okay.
Oh, wait, go.
We're live.
We'd like to welcome everybody to Cache County Council meeting today, July 9th. We really hope that you've had an enjoyable celebration of our Independence Day. At this point, we'll go ahead and have our opening by Council Member Sandy Goodlander. Please.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to begin this meeting by giving a prayer, if you'll all join me. Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful for the many blessings that we have, and we're especially grateful for this free country that we have to live in and for this beautiful valley that we get to reside. We're grateful for the good people here and for the opportunity that we have to represent them and to make decisions in behalf of. Wilt thou please bless us tonight that we can use wisdom and good judgment, and that we will be able to listen carefully to all the things that are presented to us and make wise decisions. We're grateful for each other and for those people who participate in our communities and in our local governments, and for the opportunity that we have to be a part of that. And we say these things humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We do have an amended agenda, and so I'd entertain a motion for the review and approval of the amended agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, we approve the amended agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimous. How about the minutes from 6:25 of '24?
I would move that we approve the minutes from 6/25/2024 meeting.
I'll second that.
It's moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of 6:25 of '24. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimous. Let's have the report from the county executive.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of quick things. I've met with the Cache Valley Transit District a couple of times in the past 2 weeks and had an opportunity to tour their new facility that's almost done. A really nice facility they're building up in the north end of our valley, and also met with them and talked to them about some of the statistics related to ridership. And I think the council would find it very interesting, and I think they would be interested in giving a presentation. I connected them with Micah today, and if the council wants to agendize something like that in the future, they had some pretty interesting information, numbers about ridership that they've been crunching and gathering. So they have new counters on their buses that can tell you exact numbers of who rides and when and where they get off and all of that. So the other thing I wanted to mention just for our public is to encourage everyone to be safe out there, because it's getting very dry. We've had a couple of fires recently, and those just remind us that we need to be careful when it comes to the dry grasses we have out there. We haven't had a lot of rain recently, and the fire danger, I think, is getting concerning. So I hope everyone in our community will consider that when they're participating in activities outside, whether it be fireworks or shooting or off-roading or other things, camping, open fires. It's a dangerous time, and I hope everyone will consider that this time of year. And that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. At that point, we have no items of special interest or committee reports or Board of Equalization. We can't set the public hearing till about 5:30, which we'll have to then bypass 9A and B for a few minutes here. And also 10A and B. Those that we have been asked by Development Services if we could postpone those definitely to the next meeting, right? And so I would take a motion that we would postpone those definitely would be to the next meeting.
I'll make that motion that we would postpone the Nautica subdivision number 1 amendment to the meeting of, let's see, it would be July the
23rd.
23rd. 23rd, yeah. And then also ordinance 2024-08, Title 16 subdivision regulations, also to that date.
I'll second that.
Seconded that we postpone those two pending actions. They are basically automatically would go over anyway, but all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone against? Okay, that's unanimous. We can all take care of 11A at this time. Micah, would you, please? Amending the 2024 council meeting and holiday schedule. Holidays creeping up on us every which way, aren't they?
Yeah, some of us did talk about this just kind of offline at the previous council meeting. Was the UAC convention this year is in September. I think it's usually November, but this year it's in September. And it conflicts with our first meeting of September. And so this action would just amend our council meeting schedule to move the first meeting of September to the third Tuesday rather than the typical second Tuesday. So that would be September 17th. That's all this, the only amendment to the holiday and meeting schedule.
Is there a motion that to go ahead and do this?
I'll make a motion that we amend our schedule to change the first meeting in September from the 10th to the 17th.
I'll second it.
Second, that we amend the schedule as such and move that September meeting to the 17th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Micah, while you're there, let's go ahead and 11B. We have that local consent request.
Yeah, just pull it up on the screen. This is, we've had a few different actions related to this issue in the past few months. We've made some changes to the local consent process in the county. The more recent of those changes required that, it allowed for single event permits where beer is served in unincorporated county. Shortly after the council passed that amendment to county code, the clerk's office, this is where I got this application from, the clerk's office received an application, the entity requesting it's Prodigy Brewing for their community craft beer festival. This would take place on the 22nd of September in Mount Naomi Farms. So it's unincorporated county. So this is so as of this most recent code change, the process is that the county clerk, that the applications are received by the county clerk, but the actual approval is made by the county council. This is a legislative action, and meaning that you have a great deal of leeway in whether or not you would like to approve this. However, this is actually just one part in a larger process where they obtain a permit from the state. So this is kind of one of multiple hurdles that.
They can't get that permission until they've had our local consent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the action before you today is simply to provide the local consent for this application. So it's not a policy change at all. It's just approving a single application.
Other questions from the council?
And I would note that the applicants are here today, or the entities representing the applicants are here today.
Any questions?
The only question I have is this makes it sound like, is this an annual festival or is this just a one-time?
My understanding is it is an annual event.
This is your first time?
This is our first time, so we actually founded a nonprofit arm of Prodigy Brewing, so all of the funds that will be raised through this festival.
Actually, could you come up here to the microphone and just say your name so we can get it on record, so.
Hi, so I'm Kristen Smith. I'm one of the owners of Prodigy Brewing. We actually founded Community Craft, which is a nonprofit arm of Prodigy Brewing. So the whole purpose and intent is to continue to support all of the charities and important things in the valley through Prodigy Brewing, but Community Craft is really going to support the local unsung heroes. So we're talking about people who are sort of doing things under the radar, spending money on their own to be able to fund whatever they're doing in support of the greater community. So we have been raising a portion of our proceeds of sales on Mondays that go to Community Craft, but this festival is really not only bringing the community together, but also a big fundraiser. I'm hoping to raise somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 for the Community Craft nonprofit during this festival on September 22nd. So I would hope that it would be annual. Obviously, I intend to make this a big success, and I think the community is going to support it. So, yeah, it would be annual.
Other questions anyone have?
Just for my own, Micah, so if we approve this for this event, do they have to come back again next year? Okay. All right. Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the council has a lot of leeway in how you want to do this. I do think it would be considered an action of the council. It would need to be public. But this is kind of this is the first application we've had since this new process was put into place, earlier this year. So, yeah, happy to answer any other questions about it.
Any other questions, or I'd entertain a motion?
I'd be willing to waive the rules and make a motion to approve the consideration for the request of the local consent for the single event permit.
And I'll second that.
Moved and seconded that we suspend the rules and consider this request for that local consent, which has been by Prodigy Brewing for their, what was the name of that? Community Craft. So that they can further pursue their, their permit from the state. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Okay. We still got a few minutes here. We're really flying. This is good. We can actually get some.
If we have time, what's heavy beer? Oh, sure. I asked Nolan and Nolan.
It's about. It's a bigger can.
Yeah, it's just the state designation, so anything that is over 5% alcohol by volume is considered heavy beer, and that's everything that's regulated through the state. So the state, that's the state sort of process of everything's at the Department of Alcohol and Beverage Services. So anything under 5% is non-heavy beer.
Regular beer and then a higher alcohol content is heavy beer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
any beer that's above 5%, that's even sold at Prodigy Brewing, must first be sold to the state of Utah.
That's right.
Tax added on to increase the price to discourage drinking, and then purchase back at Prodigy.
And everything I hear is light beer, so. Heavy's confusing me.
Russian, it says soft drink.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you. Hey, everyone take a look at 12A, B, C, and D. Are there any changes? I know I'll be going to UAC on that one.
Yep, I'll be in UAC too.
Have we seen any agenda from UAC?
I have not seen it. They haven't posted, usually UAC will create a web page for each event, and they haven't created that one.
So there'll probably be it'll probably go to the evening, so a hotel room is probably warranted.
Yes, I would definitely anticipate you'll want a hotel on the night of the 11th, and Barbara, you'll probably want one on the night of the 10th as well.
Correct.
Barbara's on the governing board. So, yeah, I would say probably just the one night is probably all.
Any other changes to that?
Put me down for that, for UAC?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about the parades.
Me too.
I know
I'm just a comment for the Logan Pioneer Day Parade. I'm working on and see if we can get American West Heritage Center again to bring their team and pull us along.
If you haven't got that one, I have a team already arranged for that if you'd like.
Oh, do you? Oh.
You know,
for Logan
I
Pioneer
got someone
Day?
that
For
said
the
that,
Pioneer Day?
I got someone that said that they'd be happy to do
Oh,
that.
let's go with you then.
So we can ride instead of walk?
Yeah.
Cool.
Put me down. That one starts at noon. It's gonna be so dang hot. that
It
day.
will be
Well,
warm.
it'll cool off by then. You'll be fine.
By noon.
It usually rains. We usually get rained on at that one every year, actually.
That's true. Actually, it's the USU parade that always rains.
Where's the
Yeah,
route?
Homecoming parade.
And it goes down Center?
Starts first,
Starts at Bear Lake.
south, first west to Center Street. Starts on Center Street and first west.
Yeah, you line up at the high school. Start at the high school.
Yeah.
It's a good hike.
Go there.
You'll want to ride that one.
Yeah, it's a long,
It's
I
a-
need a long one.
yeah.
I just get so hot.
Okay. Well, 15 minutes. How close do we have to be to set these public hearings?
Everybody turn their head now.
I think we can,
Just setting them, you're not having them, so.
I was gonna say, we're just setting them, so I think we'll probably be okay. I would entertain for 9A and 9B, for these COG applications, or these COG projects, excuse me, funds for them on this reconstruction. We would like to,
I'll move that we set a public hearing for July 23rd, 2024 for the 2024 COG project, 1200 East, 3100 North to 3400 North.
I'll second.
And I'll
sorry.
include, setting a public hearing for July 23rd, 2024 for the other 2024 COG project, 1000 East and 600 South in Smithfield.
And I would second both of those.
okay, moved and seconded that we set those public hearings for the COG, 2024 COG project, 1200 East, 3100 North, 3100 North in, is that North Logan, in Logan? North in North Logan, right?
North Logan, Hyde Park.
And the 100 East and 600 South in Smithfield also for July 23rd. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we got those set, and let's go ahead and, jeepers, I think we're about done. Council member reports, this is gonna be a record.
I know, this is awesome.
And I own it.
That's what happens on hot days.
Yeah.
Let's start, Mark, would you please?
Had dinner already.
I don't think there's anything really to report.
Not a word from me.
We did have a COSAC meeting yesterday where the COSAC committee did send a recommendation for the second phase or the second approval or of the Furman project. So that will be coming on the 23rd in the next meeting. So if there's any questions, I asked Chris to attend that meeting so if we could get the dialogue from the COSAC committee here and kind of their thoughts on that. But I did have a question on, I think we've already settled this, but we don't have a public hearing for that, correct? This is just an allocation because all the public comment was already just when we passed the bond, right?
Yeah.
If I remember this correctly, that we've already had this conversation, right?
Well, we had a public hearing, didn't we, when he first came here to the council?
No,
No,
We
no,
didn't.
but that's
It
just
is-
informational, I don't,
is it the only public
well,
hearing
we
we
can,
have on
let's,
the
that's a
passage
good
of the
question
bond?
for our legal.
So all the public hearing requirements for the bond are for the initial approval of that authority to spend up to that amount. And then once you have that authority, you can spend up to that amount, just with the authority you've already been given from the people.
Yeah, so it's not project specific, we don't have, that's Trails Committee was asking today if we would have a public hearing on that, and I said no, but it's just now an allocation by the council, so.
I think it's the council's purview now to, we've been given that authority, and so
Okay.
we exercise that prudently, hopefully.
So,
Thank you, any others?
that's everything.
Barbara?
I just want to say what a good time I had at the Lewiston Parade. That was awesome. Lots and lots of people. The flyover was great. Thank you to Lewiston Town for the great parade that they were able to give to everybody, and they do a very fine job. That was the first time I've ever been to a Lewiston Parade. I was very impressed.
Sandy?
I had a short Zoom meeting with Alma, and it was with Josh Greer, Jared Bowman, and Rob Johnson from Bear River Mental Health and Bear River Health. I don't know if you all recall, a couple of meetings ago, we approved a $20,000 payment to Bear River Mental Health so they could get a $170,000 match for Medicaid. Well, they have since found out from the state that we need to allocate part of that for substance abuse, which would go to Bear River Health Department. They're all on board. As soon as they have that exact allocation, they'll bring it back to us, and we'll need to approve it. It's still just the 20,000. We're just going to allocate it differently between Bear River Mental Health and Bear River Health Department. So I just wanted to make you all aware of that. It will come to the council. I'm not sure exactly when, but so that was that. And in the last day, we have hired a new executive director for Bragg. It is Lucas Martin, who is currently serving as their Human Services Development Director, and he will take that role pretty quickly. Roger's last day is July 15th. I believe Lucas is ready to start on July 16th. So really pleased with that happening over at Bragg. So that's kind of a big deal.
I really don't have anything either at this point.
Okay. Terrific. I really, as far as I know, the celebrations, I hope everyone really enjoyed their Independence Day. I think it's an amazing time of the year. A lot of reflection, a lot of opportunity. The get-togethers. I know I was actually with Barbara and Sandy out there at the Lewiston, and you just, when you're out there amongst just generations of families all coming back to just celebrating what their town and what their, the community is all about, I think that's pretty powerful. Neat opportunity. It was also neat to actually see some camel riding in the rodeo. And no one stayed on. Now, you don't see that anywhere except in Lewiston.
My wife stayed on the camel when she rode it.
You wouldn't have this camel. So, anyway, it's a neat celebration. I commend everyone for all your participation in those, and we got a bunch more coming up. So, with that in mind, that being done, I appreciate everybody, and we'll go ahead and adjourn.